Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Are you done? Don't get him started!
We're passing that here, thank God.
Okay, so today, Sarah has been beating her husband to get him live on our channel
Not literally.
so that they could tell their story.
Hide the bruises.
This is Matthew.
Did you just do the Elvis sign?
This is gonna be forever.
Are you sure you don't want to stop and go get you caffeine? Because you might need it.
Can you hand me Dr. Pepper too?
Two.
This is empty.
Thank you. There's enough in there.
Probably not for the longevity.
No, I'm gonna be stuck here with. I got my vape though. Okay, I got my vape. Matthew! I can't move!
Got her wild.
No, break me.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get this behind me! There, I got it. Okay.
You want the fluff pillow?
No, I want you to put your body back where you had it because my feet are gonna fall off this couch.
And your prop.
Okay.
And your feet warmer.
Okay, take two.
100.
Take two.
I am Matthew.
Too much.
Sorry.
Are you ready?
Delighted.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
And action.
This was y'all's idea!
We knew that it was going to be like this.
You guys are talking 4 times more than I am.
I know. So the way that we thought about this was that y'all are gonna go back and forth on like the day that you met or how it started. I guess how it started because I don't know y'all's story
Yes,
until
you do.
2017. So
I told you she didn't know all of it. She's heard stories, bits and pieces.
mm,
We've never actually went beginning to.
yeah.
No.
So the thing is you have to tell the beginning and then tell the hard stuff, the good, the bad, the ugly, and then how you've changed from that situation to now.
She's the good. Which one of us is the bad? Which one of us is the ugly?
All of you.
We're not talking about personality.
No, we're talking about the
Who
scenarios.
can be the bad? Can you be the ugly?
So we can start out like where we were before we met?
No.
Yeah, let's give them a little bit of like where we were at in our headspace in life and how it came together.
Well, you told. Well, no, because.
So what were you doing 1 month before we met?
Exploring the dating scene.
The fucking dementia set in already. I can just hold together to remember.
Yeah.
Like Joe
Well, she
Biden
thought
over
her
here.
little Rolodex going. Going through the files. Oh, found it.
There's going to be a lot of loading.
You were living at home.
Yeah, I was living with my mom and dad because I just came out of divorce. And started online dating. I don't think I was
Where
on
were you
that.
Was it Plenty of Fish?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was before it became what it is now.
Mm.
You were working at Xerox.
Yeah.
You were driving
Yeah, you gotta help
a
her.
Pontiac. you were driving a
You like-
Pontiac Vibe.
Pump it into her because she like.
Well, no, see, if I do that too much, it's going to be like, is he spoon feeding her past? Is this Munchausen syndrome?
No.
Stockholm
you said a
syndrome?
month.
A month before.
A month before.
You were working at Xerox.
All right, hold on.
What were you doing before you met Matthew?
I was exploring the dating scene. But no, I was going. yeah, because I was going through a divorce, so I was staying with mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't start working at Xerox till a couple weeks before we met. I had just left a marriage to where he was inattentive. We kind of went on it a little bit, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Last time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the one that we didn't post. So.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, you did.
That's the one you did because our mics were screwy, so we weren't going to use it.
No, it wasn't that one. It was the one before that. When we were talking about, when we were talking about, the other one, not the St. Patty's Day one.
You're going to be pulling it out of me to get my memory to activate.
I'm trying. Okay.
I think that's it, really. Like, I was very monotonous. I like hanging out with family. It's very boring.
Okay, what were you doing a month before you met Sarah? Or started talking to Sarah?
I was just got back into truck driving. I drove truck way before. I got my CDL right out of high school, back when the state would allow you to have a CDL at 18. And grew up doing a lot of farm stuff. And I was just divorced from my second wife. And I let my CDL lapse or whatever, forgot what it was. Yeah, I let it lapse. I was running the machine shop and doing fabricating and stuff like that. Worked for Stevens Machine. I was a fabricator blueprinter there for a while, and after a really ugly divorce from my second wife, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get my CDL back. And so I went to that C1 place, got it, and spent a year driving one of their really shitty trucks. I'd found some home time. I got stuck on a dedicated lane from Avila, Indiana to Louisville. It was dedicated. I was home every night-ish, weather traffic permitting. And I was parking at Love's at 264 and I-69.
Do you remember the first message he sent you?
It was a book.
Mm-hmm.
No, hold on.
Or did you send him one?
No, it was me.
Okay. What did you say?
Let him talk.
I was sitting in the truck on breakdown. I was in Kokomo.
Keep in mind,
actually.
POF.
Yeah. And I wasn't really wanting to get back in the dating thing. I was just bored. And a friend of mine, Stacy, was like, "Have you tried this POF thing?" I was like, "What's POF?" "Plenty of fish." I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" "It's a dating site." So she helped me set up the profile. Her and her girlfriend had just recently started doing their thing. They're still together. They're married now, actually. Gage, her son, Gage grew up around me. He was like 2 or 3 when I met him and Stacy. Gage is 16, 17 now. He's huge. And I was on there. I'd flipped through it just in my downtime. And there's that scroll thing. There's like people you may know, people you may be interested in. And you just scroll through and look. And it's always picture based. Mm-hmm. So that's strike one. Because first off, it gets you attracted to somebody based on their physical features. I really don't care. It's never been me. I seen her and I was like, damn, that one. So I read her profile. No shot. And she kept popping up like 10, 15 times. And I was laying in the truck one night. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. What's the worst she can say? No, don't respond, or leave me alone, or something like that.
I think you kept popping up on mine too. What did I have on my profile? I don't remember.
It was a picture of you making a funny face with this sticky, squishy flower thing on your forehead.
We still have it somewhere.
No, it was smaller than the ones that you stuff in the dryer. It was like one of the window clean daily things.
No, I mean, we still have that picture somewhere. I think
I've got it. So I read her profile. It was a really in-depth profile at the bottom of her profile. It said, if you're going to message me, give me something to read. Let's have a real conversation out of this. Hey, what's up? Or DTF, whatever. Let's have a conversation. So I sat there in the bunk of my semi, dictated the whole fucking Emancipation Proclamation, read it like 7 times because I'm a grammar Nazi, and I hit send. It's like, 1 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. I hit send.
I responded to let the interrogation begin.
Turned the phone off and plugged it up, turned my TV on, and my eyes were rolling back in my head. And that few seconds, like right before you go to sleep, like when all the sound goes off, my phone makes that bing sound. I'm like, what the fuck is texting me at 1 o'clock in the morning? Open it up. Sure shit, I got a message from her. Said, you had my attention, now impress me. I'm like, well, fuck. All right, here we go.
I used to be brash.
I thought, well, might as well just be myself because she's going to learn about it either one way or another. I might as well scare her off now. And I didn't scare her off. About an hour and a half, we exchanged phone numbers and we had a phone call. That lasted 9 hours, 10 hours.
Yeah, I remember hearing your voice and it was instant comfort. I don't remember. But you were sick though. So like,
yeah, I was really sick. I was living on a diet of Monster Energy and McDonald's chicken nuggets.
They're the best.
Okay, so you have no idea how bad this was.
That's my comfort food. What are you talking about?
Dude,
my fat ass.
I know you told me you had like boxes.
No, not boxes. Stacks of boxes.
His entire passenger seat was full.
It looks like I went into McDonald's. The ream of boxes, there's like 1,000 count in a ream. It looks like I went in there and stole 5 of those. Took the plastic off and just had a confetti fucking party in my semi of just McDonald's chicken nugget boxes.
Mm. Did you clean that out before she?
Yes, he did.
I took 8 bags of trash out of that semi before our date. I hadn't seen the floor in that semi in months.
I remember I was sweeping and you said, you housekeep? I got fooled you.
You thought. Just kidding. Matthew,
Hold on.
you have to put your phone away. The whole time.
Hold on a second.
Listen, you can Facebook it later. Anyway, Sarah, so what was your, how did he ask you out on a date?
Well, we've been talking for a couple days, and then we decided to meet up in person.
Where'd you meet him?
Let's wait for him.
No, where'd you meet him? He's busy.
At a truck stop.
Oh yeah, the loves out there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he was driving from one part to the next, and that was his designated truck stop, so it was easier for me to go out in my car than him bring the semi.
And this bitch gets in and drives away with him.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't even know him. Could have been Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's what he said. He said, I could have tied you up three in the back
I said,
seat.
she was sitting there, and I looked over at her, and I was like, do you have any idea what you just did? She's like, what did I do? And she's like looking at the dashboard like she touched a button or something. Like, just met a random dude at a truck stop at like midnight.
Gets in and goes.
Got in a semi. There's nothing keeping me from hitting you in the head, tying you up, throwing you in that bunk, having my way with you across the country and dropping you off somewhere. And she dead ass told me, don't hit me in the head. You can tie me up all you want. Just bring me back when you're done. I'm like, fair enough.
You nasty. You're so nasty. Oh my God.
Have you not heard that?
I heard it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. I pulled up in my little blue car. Was it blue? No, it was black. It was black. My little blue. Let me get my colors right.
She drives a blue car right now.
Yeah, my little black car, and he steps out, and like we instantly hugged, and it was like
Love at first touch.
yeah, like it was like we were home. Like our souls had been searching for each other for so long. Then we touched each other, and it was just like instant melt. And he had his gauges in at the time. His little like spiky earrings. He was wearing his Ford hoodie and jeans and boots, right? You were wearing boots.
Yes.
And I looked over and he's just jamming. I thought he was the cutest thing in the world.
So sexy.
Mm-hmm.
So sexy.
Yeah, he took me on a ride, bobtail, around town, and then we came back to the car and went and got something to eat. And
She's gonna actually beat you on camera. Pick up that phone when we're again.
That has to do with work. So, after we talked on the phone, pre this, it was, want to go on a date? Yeah, what are we going to do? You ever ridden a semi? No, I've always wanted to. Okay, cool. Easy first date. Going semi ride. Then she shows up at the truck stop, but she'd already given her location information, her Apple ID, and all that to her mom. So I actually didn't know that till years later. And then we parked the semi and went into town and got Applebee's, which she flirted heavily with her fork making.
that is going to be picked up straight.
Knock it off! It was that.
Huh? And then after date, we went back to the semi to watch movies, and
This is going public.
Yeah.
you're editing.
She edits, I don't.
Yeah, but it's hard to edit when you're like mid sentence. Mean that hand gesture.
Knife hand. She wasn't even military.
You're the one that does it.
What?
You point like that. And that's why I do it.
I do.
That is where I got it from.
I'm not military.
I was gonna
Knife
do
hand.
a whole like
Gotta keep that thing sheathed.
collage of her doing this and her saying it's the raw. Because she says it almost every episode.
Wrong.
It's the raw with good gas. Okay, so your first date goes great.
Yep.
What about your second date?
Well, the end of the first date was when I actually knew I loved him. Because,
Let me preface this. I'd been living in a truck by myself for almost a year. So my human interaction was non-existent. I have found a human
Who likes
that is showing me more than bill of lading, load over there, bump the dock, turn your truck off, disconnect your glad hands, chalk your tires, and bring your keys in. Oh, okay. She's fucking high. I mean, it's like the dog that caught the car. It's like what would he do? What would the dog do if he actually caught the car and he was chasing? It's like, oh my god, I got it. Now what? Didn't think I'd get this far. So I'm geeking out. I'm like completely ecstatic that there's a human being in my presence.
what
That
did you
human
do?
being is really hot.
What did you do when we first sat down to eat? When I was eating with a fork?
I didn't shit my pants, did I? I don't remember that. I don't.
Yes, you do. You were making moose or cow sounds
It wasn't cow sounds. Every time she would go to chew
on our first date.
she'd go take a bite and just like mock her. Everybody.
He did it. I was
Yeah.
being very.
It wasn't
proper.
cow sounds.
You were making fun of her?
Yes,
That's not making fun of somebody.
And you still liked him?
I did.
Fuck! And I'm like, hit check please.
let me reiterate this. I've been alone in a fucking semi for a year.
You've been alone at the Applebee's too. You go,
I
get
used
the
to-
Uber because I'm not taking you back.
I do some pretty out of pocket shit to you, and you just laugh at it too.
That's true, but I'm not trying to date you either, so. Shut up, Matthew.
Just gonna smile. It's not disrespectful if it's done tastefully in a playful manner. There is a time and place and a way to execute it.
Not on a first date.
But we did have some pretty in-depth conversations on the phone, so we kind of
Franklin D. Rosacat. It's Franklin D. Rosacat.
Anyway,
This is
so second date was
Hey,
what?
hold on, that guy out of pocket.
Second date was what?
Second date, she came and picked me up at the semi.
yeah, that was pretty much our life for a while, was me going and getting you because you didn't have a.
My car was stolen. Actually, I had my car parked at my mom's house in the garage. I had I spent a lot of money on that car. It was a Bug-Eye Subaru hatchback, European drive. The steering wheel's on the right side. It was 98, 99 WRX STI. I bought it. It was wrecked, and it was an auction buy car. Bought it, put a lot of money in that car, parked it in my mom's garage.
Do you see how lively he got when he started talking about cars?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, I owned a machine shop at the time, and that was like my whole life. And while I was out on the road, somebody knew where the car was at my mom's house. They showed up with a snatch truck, backed through the garage door, grabbed the car, and took off while my mom was asleep. And she didn't hear a thing because she was shit-faced drunk. And it had been gone for a while before she noticed the garage door was down. She called me and was like, "Hey, did you come home to get your car? And you forgot to close the garage door." I'm like, "Mom, I'm in Texas. Like, I just left Laredo like 6 hours ago. I am nowhere near home." "Well, the garage door is open and your car's not there." I'm like, "Oh, that car's stolen." And so I didn't have a vehicle to drive at the time. And it was winter and I had a Corvette. And I was not getting that thing out of the garage. And so she lived. I parked at Love's, so there's no reason to go all the way to get a car and come back. We'd spend our time together. She'd drive back off the truck and I would go run my route, park, and she'd come get me. I was just living in the truck. I didn't have a place to live at the time. The truck was my home. Everything I had was either in storage or at the machine shop. And didn't really have a reason to be anywhere else. I got away for a reason. I made sure everything was taken care of, that I didn't have to be there. And then she come and got me for our second date, and we go to BW3's. And we hugged before he walked in, and I slipped it out.
Second date.
Second date. We'd been in each other's physical presence all of like 8 hours, completely total. And I slipped it. And you could have heard my asshole slam shut. And she said it back. And I'm like, "Oh, fuck, here we go."
What did you say, honey?
"Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that." I forget exactly what I said.
Huh?
What did I say?
I love you.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, "I love you." And that's when you could physically hear my asshole slam shut. And then she said it back. So many red flags, it looks like a circus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Circus in town. "Hi, I'm the monkey." Or the clown.
Date 2. That was date 2.
Y'all are nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all been together what? 10 years?
11.
11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Married for 7.
Almost 8.
Okay, so how's marriage been?
Best job I ever had.
We didn't get up to there.
Well, obviously you fall in love and you
she was my for a while, because the company I was driving for wasn't allowed to have a passenger.
What does that mean?
Let's rephrase that.
Yeah.
I smuggled her everywhere.
Oh.
She got in the truck. She was somewhere she wasn't supposed to be.
Disclaimer, he has no filter and does not care if he offends.
Equal opportunity offender.
Yes.
And we got tired of being away from each other for the time that it took me to drive daily. And I was like, "You know what? Just quit your job. Get in the truck with me. I'll take care of everything else." "Really?" "Yeah. Quit your job. Pack a bag, get in the truck."
So I did.
And she's like, "Okay." I was like, "All right." So we were in the truck for a while. I'd say at least a month-ish, give or take. Then I got really sick. I got like sick. And I had an issue with my driver's license. My driver's license expired. And
Yeah, because they never let you be home long enough to
Yeah.
get it fixed.
so I wasn't allowed to drive the truck. And they started starving me for miles. So I made obviously a paycheck based on the miles that I drove. So if you're not driving, you're not earning. So they let me park the truck at Meijer in town. But I had no way to get to the DMV while she was at work. Didn't have any friends, didn't have any family, and was literally alone other than her. She was my only human connection in this world. And then the paycheck stopped rolling in because I couldn't drive. I couldn't go to the DMV to get my license fixed, and then I got sick. I got like sick, like hospitalized kind of sick. And kind of seeing the writing on the wall, she's like, you need to quit that job and go do something else, because I was holding on to it. I held on to it for way too long. Mm-hmm. And she said, look, just take the truck back, drop it off. We'll find you another job. Now, I have the machine shop, but it's the wrong time of year. We're not producing anything. We're not building any race car parts or anything. So it's basically dormant. I'd already cashed out my overhead, what I would allow myself from the shop. Little did I know that in 2 months, a month or so, that it would catch fire and burn down. Had I known that was going on, I would have not been doing what I was doing. I would have definitely saved that, because our lives would have been completely 110% different than what they are now. But everything happens for a reason. And I moved into my grandparents' basement, where I've been multiple times in my life, and just started pounding the concrete, trying to find, something that would, hire. Mm-hmm. I wasn't being picky. I was filling out McDonald's, Burger King, Walmart, Meijer, gas stations, oil change places, retail shops. I mean, if it was a business that had a door that said open or closed on it, I was filling out an application. I think we sat down and counted. I filled out 110, 115 applications in 3 or 4 days, and then turned them all in person by hand, wrote numbers down and called them, was religiously beating that phone up. Mm-hmm. And this was in 2014. Mm-hmm. We were in that recession thing. Nobody was hiring.
That was the first time I started working where you're at. That was what triggered that.
And it was really disheartening, because I've got a lot of college under me. I went to UTI for 4.5, almost 5 years. Went through the accelerated course, and I got my master's in automotive engineering. And they don't offer the class anymore, but nobody was hiring. I tried to get a job at a dealership, owning a machine shop, working on vehicles. Growing up in the automotive world, I raced mini sprints and wing sprint. My whole life was spent in racing and farming, because my grandfather owned the machine shop. And it was so disheartening that I was this far in tune with everything, and I couldn't find a job anywhere. And it was probably one of the biggest kicks to my nuts I'd ever had in my life. And she never gave up on me. Fill out more apps here. Do we need to make a call? So on and whatnot. I had food. I had a place to stay. I was at my grandparents'.
Yeah, I gave you my old car.
Yeah, she gave me her Lumina.
To use.
And
it was a boat.
It was a boat. Big Lumina. Big Chevy Lumina, like the Monte Carlo size Lumina. And one day it just quit working. And I looked at it, like it's not even cranking. It had oil in it. And then me and Grandpa popped the hood, and I ran a bore scope down it, and it's like, it's seized. The oil pump went out in it. It had oil in it. It just locked up, and there was no gauge on the dash that gave your oil pressure. It was all electric dash. It just wasn't there. There was just no way to know. So I felt bad about that because she let me use this car and now the motor's bad. And I don't have a job to put a motor in it. And it's like one thing compounding after another. And then...
To understand her story, you got to understand these struggles.
Yeah, it was just like every day was another little battle to overcome, and it was all compounded. And
I got 2 jobs. And wasn't I in school too? Or did I start school?
Yep. Were you working at Alta as well? You were working at Alta.
And I was working on the
And she always can't, like, after she
We can't name that place. Don't say a word about that place.
What? Alta Beauty?
The other place.
Oh. Yeah,
My place. You can't say that.
Oh. No, she was there. And then she worked there and then was driving all the way to Kokomo to work at Alta. And she'd get off work, she'd always come over looking like $1 million because you work in a makeup store.
I played with a lot of makeup.
Yeah. And my grandfather was, that's a whole nother topic. But, and I was chit-chatting with my buddy Josh. He's like, hey, there's a farmer over here looking for a driver to haul tomatoes. And I'm like, oh, tomatoes a good gig. You only work like 3 months and make like 60, 70 grand. I'm like, how many tomatoes does this guy need hauled? And he's like, I wouldn't say that very loud because and he will work you into the dirt. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm okay with that. I mean, so that's where we met Pancho.
He probably, I was going to say, he probably don't want to be name dropped.
Where we met Pancho.
Name drop.
His 4 foot 10, 150 pounds of anger and alcoholism. And he put me in this old school long hood Peterbilt hauling tomatoes. She came along for the ride too. She was there, hauled tomatoes, banked a lot of cash, and then we got a house to rent right behind the Kokomo Mall. And then tomatoes turned into pigs. And then, that was horrid.
What company were you driving for? Well, you don't have to say the company, but what type of truck or cargo are you driving for when the lady came running for help, asking for help? Do you remember that?
Pigs.
What was that?
Yeah, I was driving. I was in Black Beauty, and I just got that cattle pot. Drew finally put that cattle pot on me. I was parked next to the house, and we were getting in the semi to leave, and this lady came.
We were going to Jasper.
Yeah, this lady come running down the street, half naked, screaming and hollering about somebody trying to kill her. I remember
her face was all busted up.
Yeah.
I remember that.
She was a meth head, and her boyfriend was also a meth head. Got into it, and he beat fucking tires off her. And she was wearing a bra and some booty shorts and face all busted up. And she was coming right at the truck, and I remember having my big GPS thing with the camera, and I'm like, do I hit record? No, she's not dressed. I'm not going to record that.
Okay.
Was I wrong?
You're putting this on the internet.
He's making it very hard to edit this. Name dropping and
beep. It's gonna be beep, 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 beep the whole time.
I'm gonna have to put it in the 18 plus store. They have to click it for that.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot of fun hauling pigs. We went a lot of places, but man, was it tiring. We made a lot of money. Well, we didn't make a lot of money hauling for Drew because Drew and Fabio were absolutely...
Can't use that word.
Yeah, we can.
Oh.
Okay, anyway, so...
I got rid of that guy, that farmer that I was driving for. And
Did you guys talk about all the things that you're going to talk about?
No.
no. Oh, no, we had a guy living with us. One of her friends that turned out to have a really big crush on her earlier in life. And while I was out in the truck, he professed his love to her while I was gone. And about how she should leave me and go be with him. And
He confessed it to you.
yeah. Like, yeah, he was in the truck with me. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He told me. Yeah, because we were sitting in the line at Tyson. And he was like, yeah, I've always been in love with her. And had I not balked, I would have made her happy. So, yeah, I remember that. Then he wound up stealing from us and going to some chick's house. And I'd track him down and go to where he was at and basically knock the door down and steal my stuff back.
Matthew. Okay, so when did you guys decide to get married?
We knew like 2 weeks in.
Yeah, we were going to get married like right off the hitch. And then her mom was like, just wait a little while.
Mm-hmm.
3 years later, it's, when are you going to marry our daughter? Like, you told me to wait. You told us to wait. You made us promise that we would wait. Well,
Forever is a long time.
It's been 3 years. I'm like, I didn't set the stipulation here. You said wait. We're just waiting.
Did he ask you all cutely? Or was it like, here?
No, it was cute.
So we were living in Marion on Spencer Street.
I was on Spencer Street.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you guys got married before you met me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like right before we met you.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, like, because 2017 is our...
So I had this ring planned out. I was having a ring made. And I was like $400 away from getting it paid off.
And I went arts and craftsy.
And she was like, oh, I gotta go get some groceries and everything. Okay. She spends like $300 something at the store. And I wasn't expecting her to spend that much. And I go in to get her ring and I'm like, the card was declined. So I drive, because I didn't have the phone thing. I drove all the way back to an ATM, check it. I'm like, oh, there's like $400 something missing off the card that I needed. So I had to wait for her to get off work. Drove from Kokomo back to Marion. I'm like, hey, where's this money at? And she's hauling bags in from the car into the house. Well, I got this and this and this and this. I'm like,
I had no idea.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me that.
oh, because it was a surprise. I mean, obviously,
Yeah, I screwed
I'm not going to look at her and go, hey, don't spend $400. I'm going to buy your wedding ring. I'm going to propose to you later, so don't spend a lot of fucking money. No.
That's one of the reasons why I decided to do so.
And I got real quiet, and I was like, I remember saying, you have no idea what you just fucked yourself out of.
She had stuff to do, obviously.
Yeah.
I looked at her, I'm like,
Arts
you
and
have
crafts.
absolutely no idea what you just fucked yourself out of. So I had to wait 2 more weeks for the next paycheck to roll in. Got the ring. And we took a nap.
Naps are essential.
Yeah. Woke up.
He was
And I was
always
like-
running on you for energy. So.
And she hates it when, like, you grab a kid and like bite on him. She turns into a slobber mess, just laughing and crying and everything. And I kind of come off the edge of the bed and I'm tickling her and everything. And I'm working down on one knee. I had it in my pocket.
He was hugging me, asking me, like, he was like, do you love me? I was like, yeah. How much do you love me? Like,
She was
a
like,
lot. Like,
Smash.
to love
Oh, I
me
just got her into
forever?
bed too. I just got us a new bed, and the one that lasted like 2 months.
No, that was our Alzheimer's bed.
Was it the Alzheimer's bed?
Yeah, the memory foam that forgot.
Oh, yeah. Memory foam that I forgot. Yeah.
I forgot to come back up.
And then turned into sideways banana. And,
we had a terrible luck with the company vent. And she started crying. Like, oh my god. Mm-hmm. I was like, really? It was on Christmas Eve.
I was like, no.
Why is that a guy's thing to do on Christmas Eve?
I don't know.
Christmas Day.
Can
you do something more? No!
And shortly thereafter, I made a real bad mistake. I'd stopped paying child support. I was really upset with my ex-wife. And child support was insanely high. And I made a foolish decision. I was like, I'm not paying child support.
You're going to have to talk louder while he sings.
Yeah. Well, they hauled my ass in for a felony crime against a child. Mm-hmm. I'm working for the school system at the time.
They be serious.
Yeah. And,
Chicken, enough, please. You can
so
wait.
I got out of jail. Spent 2 weeks in jail. Got out. And we were just going to go to the courthouse and get married. It was April 1st. It was April Fool's. Mm-hmm. So we decided to wait to the 4th. And we went to the JOP. Tied the knot. I'd already had 2 big weddings. She had 1 big wedding. We're like...
You forgot some of the good stuff during this description. Like the reason I went and got my CDL.
Oh. Well, you tell it.
Yeah, chime in whenever you want. You just let it hang.
Well, I can't get your breath. No, dang it. Now I feel on the spot.
Why did you get your CDL?
Because I was riding with him in the hog trailer, and he got so sick over state lines.
Oh.
And, like, it was bad. Both ends.
You ever heard that saying, I can shit through a screen door and not touch a wire? It's real.
Well, it wasn't the first time, and he's smacking himself to keep awake, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta learn to drive one of these things, because if something happens, I gotta be able to get behind the wheel. Mm-hmm. And so I enrolled myself in CDL school.
I told her not to.
Yeah.
I vividly and adamantly expressed myself.
I passed it with the ASAP.
This is not the life for you. You do not need a CDL. You are not going truck driving. And what did she do? Went behind my back and did it anyway.
Well, I didn't go behind your back. You knew the whole time.
It's not like I could stop you. I was out in the truck.
But I still did it.
And where did that land you? Stranded in Texas? I mean, your dad had to drive 18 hours to come get you?
CDL landed a best friend.
Mm-hmm. I did. I was on, we were on our path to her.
Yeah.
It came with good and bad.
Fine.
Wait, shit, you're my favorite turd.
But
They don't make toilet paper strong enough to wipe you off.
Yeah, I know.
That John Wayne toilet paper. It's breath that's tough and it don't take no shit off nobody.
Yeah.
This is part of our rehabilitation. We don't talk about this stuff in public anymore, remember?
Yeah. Do you remember rage quitting in the truck?
You
rage quit on your driver manager.
Oh.
He used to be so bad. I would time him. It was a thing. He had a minute, and they had to be new insults. And I was counting how many he got in that minute.
Oh. It would... I'm surprised that driver manager didn't.
He probably quit that day. I think he quit that day.
He probably did.
Because you got a new one immediately after.
Mm-hmm. And I was definitely the type of person that if I knew where your office was, I would turn the truck around. I'd drive 15, 20 hours to find you and walk it and physically assault you. I was that person. I had really bad anger issues.
Was that the first? No, the first time you went to jail was a fight, and first adult fight, and Andy
kept falling down.
You're just watching.
Yeah.
So it's hauling tomatoes.
That's your deal. I'm gonna enjoy my food.